Hey guys, welcome on my sofa. So today we're gonna have a Q&A session. We're gonna have a talk, no guitar lesson. That's why I'm sitting here on my sofa. And this is because this channel recently hit 10,000 subscribers. Possibly by the time you're watching this video, we are even more people on this community on this channel. But yeah, I wanted to celebrate the 10,000 subscriber milestone. Although it's a small milestone, it's still an important milestone with a Q&A session. Let me first start by saying a huge thank you to all of you who subscribed to this channel and supported me in many ways. And now, as promised, I'm gonna answer a few questions that you guys left me on my community post here on YouTube and on Instagram as well. Before we get started, guys, this is just a session to get to know me better, to get to know some insight of the channel, of my background, etc. So it's not gonna be the most useful video that you will watch today. So feel free to skip this video and come back for my lessons if you are more interested in that. If instead you want to know something more about me, feel free to stick to this video. Okay guys, so let's get started with the questions. I've got your questions on my iPad, so I will read them and answer one by one the questions that I selected. Unfortunately, I won't be able to answer all of your questions, guys, because you literally left so many questions. But feel free to message me on Instagram if you want to find out something more, or leave me a comment on any of my videos, and I always do my best to reply to each and every comment. Okay, so the first question is from Lala the Strummer, who says, congratulations, thank you very much, Lala. I'd like your thoughts on the pros and cons to the floating bridge. Okay, I have a Fender HSS and a PRS Custom 24. So first of all, let me say that both guitars are really good in my opinion. I don't have much experience with Floyd Rose bridges, but I do have a tremolo on my Strat and I absolutely love it. I really use it very much. So it definitely helps with the tone. It definitely helps with the sustain. I always suggest to use it, especially if you are into, R&B and neo soul like we often play here on the channel. It really helps having the whammy bar, the tremolo bar, to get extra sustain for your chords. It also continues saying, it seems there would be tuning issues. Wanted to know what has been your experience or take on this. Like I said, I don't have much experience with Floyd Rose bridges, so completely floating bridges. From what I remember when I used to play those kind of guitars, there used to be some tuning issues, or at least it's going to be more uncomfortable to tune the guitar. So I would say that's generally speaking true, but for instance with my tremolo bar on my Strat, I don't have any issue with the tuning. Next question is from His Temple Fitness 357. Congratulations, here's to more. Thank you very much. I'm very novice. When reading music, how do you know where to play the notes? For example, the B note, open B string or A string 14th fret. Bit of an exaggeration, I think, but I'm unsure where to play the notes at times. Thank you for your time and congratulations again, brother. Thank you very much for your question. This is a very common doubt that many guitarists have. So I think that what you meant is that when you play the open B string, for instance, and when you play the 14th fret on the A string, these two notes seem to be really far away, but effectively they are the same note. Not just because they're both Bs, but also because they are in the same octave, so they have the same height, the same frequency. And I'll tell you more, as well as you can play the open B here, the same note can be played on fret 4 of the G string, on fret 9 of the D string, and like you said, on fret 14 of the A string. If you have enough frets, you can also reach fret 19 on the E string, and again, that's gonna be exactly the same note. I think the real point here is, how do we know whether we want to play that note here, here, or here? Well, there's no general rule about that. It all depends from the context. For instance, if you're playing things which involve many open strings, I would say keep that B on the open string. But if instead you are playing everything like a melody, like a scale or a lick or something, the 4th fret on the G string or the 9th fret on the D string are possibly better options, as well as you could go here, especially if you are playing the electric guitar and you're playing maybe a pentatonic scale. You can definitely play that note there, but for instance, playing the 19th fret on the E string, it's usually not the most convenient option. So it just depends on what you're playing and what is the most convenient thing to do according to what you are playing. Next question is from Ngayen Khalifa. I hope that I pronounced your name correctly. The question is, when you're improvising, do you actually think about the degrees, intervals, and which notes you're hitting all the time, or is it mostly through muscle memory? Well, thanks again for your question. This is an interesting topic. So I first want to start by saying that when I improvise, as well as when I play anything else really, I always have under control what's the name of the note that I'm playing. This is not because I make an effort to do that, but it's just because after years of playing, after knowing all of your references, on the fretboard, you really learn how to identify the name of the notes that you're playing instantly. Okay, so if I play around here, even if I don't say out loud the names of these notes, I know what I'm playing: E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, B, C, B, etc. I literally see them and I know where to find all of the notes. But I also think about the musical context where I'm playing. For instance, if I'm improvising over a chord progression, I realize that these notes that I'm playing represent some degrees, some specific numbers with regards to the chords underneath. So the more theory you have under control, the more theory you know, the more this comes as second nature. And again, you don't really have to make an effort to think about it, okay? But if you're just starting out improvising, or if you're just starting out with music theory on guitar, don't worry too much about that. That all will come at the right time. Right, so next question is from Ilion Campbell. How do you know when you are an intermediate player, most likely in R&B? Thanks, Ilion, for your question. I would say that there are a few things that you should master to call yourself an intermediate player in R&B. I'll tell you just a few. I would say definitely knowing bar chords, of course, how to play some embellishments, how to play 7th chords, maybe some extensions like 9th, 11th, and so on. And also understand the theory behind the chord progressions that you play. So what I mean is understanding in which key you are and what chord numbers you're actually playing. Then a question from Manon Dale. What do you do for a living? By the way, your videos are so good. Keep doing that quality stuff. Support from France. Thank you very much for your support and for your question. What do I do for a living? I'm a full-time musician, so I play gigs, I record my videos that you watch online here on the channel, and I also do some lessons, some guitar lessons and music productions. The next question is from Bill, who asks how to build up finger strength for the tougher chords, like for example bar chords. That's a very good question, and many people go through this phase on the guitar journey where playing bar chords is really tough. There's no real secret, you just need to keep playing and keep practicing. There are a few things that you can do, like lowering the position of your wrist, lowering your thumb, and that will definitely help you with bar chords. And for the sake of getting tougher chords and in general more difficult positions, I made an entire video on the series Acoustic R&B Guitar. It's the episode 4 where I show finger strength exercises that might help you. The next question is from Fabio Rodriguez, and it goes like, I've learned a lot, I'm applying everything about R&B. Thank you. What do you think about Brazilian music? Which Brazilian guitarist do you like the most? Thanks, Fabio, for your question. The nice thing about building up a community, guys, is that although we are more than 10,000 right now, I actually recognize some of your names, some of the names of the people that leave me many comments, and Fabio is definitely one of them. So thanks, Fabio, for your support and for your question. So to get to your question, I'm really happy about what you said, applying everything we do on the channel about R&B, really good. What do you think about Brazilian music? I love Brazilian music. I made a lot of videos about bossa nova guitar and Brazilian music, live streams and lessons, song lessons, chord lessons, melodies and everything. You will find them on the channel if you haven't watched them yet. And which Brazilian guitarist do you like the most? I cannot say only one name, so I will tell you 3 guitarists that I really love. One is Romero Lubambo, the second one is Nelson Faria, and the third one, I can't really remember his name right now, I'm really sorry, but he is the guitarist in the Jacques Morellenbaum Cello Samba Trio. The next question is from Suvandeep. Thanks so much for your question, Suvandeep. What are your musical influences? How long have you been playing guitar? My musical influences go really very far, from rock music to obviously jazz, blues, and lots of R&B, but I also love pop music. I love every style. I'm lucky enough to play pretty much every style when I gig, and I really enjoy playing all styles. And how long have you been playing guitar? It's been more than 20 years now, maybe 23, 24 years. Yeah, long time. And then we've got Adriel Bain, who asks, any thoughts on creating a website for paid lessons? Thanks, Adriel, for your question. There is something coming up. I will not say too much right now. You guys will know it when it's ready, but I'm preparing something, but it's more on the course side. I will not make right now a full website for lessons. If you guys want to support what I do here and the things that I teach on the channel, you can do so on my Patreon page. If instead you guys want to have lessons with me, I do one-to-one lessons online via Zoom. I cannot do regular lessons like weekly lessons, but I'm more than happy to arrange a one-off lesson. The best way to contact me is through my email that you will find in the description below, or through Instagram. Next, we've got the question from Noah Kunz. Which acoustic guitar would you recommend for Neo Soul? Guys, I do get this question very often, at least twice a day, between Instagram, YouTube and stuff. So if you are wondering what's a good guitar to play R&B and Neo Soul, I would say get a Strat if you're on the electric guitars. Or if you want to get an acoustic guitar, get any guitar that you can afford. It's comfortable. Possibly look for an OM size like the one that I've got here, which is a Martin OM. And yeah, they're really comfortable to play and they sound great. And we're gonna finish this Q&A on the Bearded Guitarist channel with the most important question, which is from Red.Cuz. I got this question on Instagram, and the question goes like, I love your beard, man. Thank you very much. How long did it take you to grow that really long beard? Guys, I do get this question very often, both when I go out in real life and also on the internet. So I cannot tell you really how long it takes to grow a beard like this, because I've had it like this for years, at least for 7 or 8 years. I'm not planning on shaving, if you were wondering that. But I can tell you that if you do have a beard and you want to grow it really long, if you don't touch it, if you don't cut it or shave it for about 2 years, you will get a really long beard. In my case, I can't really tell because I constantly, trimmed it and let it grow again and then trimmed it. So I can't really say how long it takes it to get it really, really long. But anyway, I thought this was a good question to finish the Q&A for today, since we are on the Bearded Guitarist channel. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun. I hope you learned something, you were entertained enough to stay on the channel. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out in the comments below or on Instagram. And if you want to support this channel, you can do so on my Patreon page. Check out the rewards available there. Once more, guys, thanks so much for being here, and thanks so much for this milestone 10,000 subscribers. It's the first milestone, it's a small one, but I hope to celebrate with you many more. Thanks again.